1, it's recording.
So if we
circle back round.
So plexus, our voice should engage the upper body with hands, how we're talking, inflection and emphasis, and our tone of our voice. Whether something like
Where do you think your voice tone is?
my voice tone, I think when I'm
So we
talking.
spoke about like boys, people with a lower range, or mainly boys because their voice drops. They sound more assertive.
That was.
Where women's have more of a maternal.
Yeah.
I think that we covered that more maternal sort
Yeah.
of voice. So it's all impressionable, isn't it? The way your voice comes across is how impressionable you actually are.
Yeah. So that was it. The upward inflection makes you sound unsure and childlike. So being able to ground yourself was the thing that we spoke about. But when you're panicky, you talk always up and you're always like really scared, and then you make yourself, because how your high pitched voice you go, it sounds really unsure.
And then take a
But
breath.
if you bring it down and having that balance, you don't bring it down so much.
Yeah,
so relaxed.
yeah,
so
you don't
not
want
bothered.
to use your nerves. I think that was like use your nerves.
Yeah.
Channel your energy.
Yeah.
Don't. That was one of the techniques. If you do have a very floaty and up and all this, ground yourself, but learn how to control your nerves.
Take a minute.
Learn how to control your nerves.
Hold your nerves, ground them, and then put them somewhere else and hold that. So I think that was an audition. That's an audition.
Yeah, it all circles
Technically.
round. It all circles round to how you present yourself in a room.
Yeah. So that's what we. So a lot of this political speech, I think, helped with how we would do, or how we've done monologues for drama schools, and it was like knowing pitch, pace, and how you present yourself in a room, repetition. Try to use like a 1, 2, 3 rhythm random sort of thing, rather than 1, 2, 3, 4.
Because your audience settles into the pace.
Yeah, you lose
Settles
the
into
energy
the
because you
pace.
settle into
And,
what.
oh, this is new. This is new. This is new. Step
Yeah.
forwards, come back.
Yeah.
So we looked at how you engage an audience
Yeah.
using your voice and your body. Because if I was to talk a lot more slowly and then start to gauge your reaction, you instantly want to hear what my next word is. Where if I started talking really fastly and not really know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah, you'd lose it. So that's what we got. So quality of voice, we got to be. So I made a list: to be grounded, warm, articulate, direct, have a natural rhythm, be personal, in a sense, not fully personal. Don't mirror. So right now, if Luke was doing this, and my option would be like this, I'd be mirroring him. And in an audition room,
Well, you need to create your energy. You have to have your
in an
own energy.
audition room, it's been a long day, and the auditioners are like,
Oh.
next one in, sort of. You
Yeah.
can't come in and be like, oh, this is what the room feels like.
I'm gonna
go
come down.
to this. You're gonna bring that energy, and you're gonna bring them up. But it's also finding that balance of when it is appropriate, when it isn't, and for being playful, be willing to explore, open to explore. Chooses a pace that matches your brain. So you want to talk, but at your own level. So if I try to talk really, really, really fast and I might mumble over my words and I'm losing everything that I'm saying, and that doesn't suit the pace of my brain. The pace of my brain is what I'm currently talking like. And when people stutter, as I did just then, as people stutter, it's because your brain's thinking faster than what your words are delivering. And
Yeah, that was a key phrase that I learned about myself. When I panic, I tend to want to get it over.
you blurt everything out.
Where a technique would just be to.
That's something I would say. What I picked up on was for auditioning for drama schools last year was in the room my nerves got a lot better than me, so it was just throwing out all my
Thank you,
monologue.
bye.
Thank you, bye, run, breathe. It shouldn't. You've got 2 to 3 minutes to show you and present yourself. And use those 2.
Yeah.
Those are your 2 minutes.
And
Why
you can
waste
use
that
your
time?
hands. I think I feel to stand professional and to be yourself in professionally is 2 different aspects. Like if to go, hi, I'm Luke, nice to meet you, to hi, I'm Luke, nice to meet you, how are you doing? I'm doing a monologue about this, and this. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
That is, it settles you in a lot more.
Like being constructive, clear, concise, and then that what you did was like colourful and not monotone.
Where it's hello,
passion and not
hello.
Disconnected. Like
Yeah.
if when we do monologues, it's are we just reciting words off a page that we've learned, or are we actually feeling and connecting with the words that are being said? Do we know what every word means and how it makes that person feel that is saying these words? And that's very much like, for a monologue especially auditions, and we always say drama school, we need to always bring it back to drama schools as actors in training. That might be our possible paths, is how is it presented in a room, how are we describing our words so we understand ourselves, because if we don't understand ourselves, how is anyone else able
expected
to understand us? We can't have that expectation that, oh, I might not get it, but someone else will, because that won't come along, and that will definitely read off our faces. So, our final task, take a breath.
Just settling into yourself. I've really just sort of settled into me.
So if we go to final task, change
Final
energy.
task.
So our final task was to write our own political speech, and we had a day to do it.
Data set, data.
So we had to use all the techniques that we'd learned in the in the exercises, workshopping, the monologues, what we discussed.
Yeah.
So a lot of this will be a lot in detail on our Weebly and our rehearsal notes to show you like what we did.
Mm-hmm. So how did you think that went? What was your first idea? What was your first idea to start creating?
So what my topic was going to be.
Yeah, you clearly got to choose one.
So here's one I made earlier. I brainstormed ideas, and for me, where I'd done focus on body image, bulimia, I just...
Was it more feminist issues that you kept to?
Yeah, I believe so. I didn't talk about agenda specifically. I just went for... Yeah, I never spoke about, like, this affects women so much, or this affects men so much. I just spoke about a general...
Did you keep it to a woman's perspective, would you say?
Well, I think...
Was you not interested in doing a speech about male problems, or would you not find that you'd stuck to it? Just out of curiosity, really.
No.
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 Not in a bad way.
Let me answer. Let me think about it. I didn't assign my speech to a gender. My speech was... I didn't assign my speech to an age, I would say. I didn't say this is affecting us as teenagers. I didn't find any statistics that were for my age. I just spoke about mental health in an overall... Well, it obviously had my personal touch to it, but I didn't say, oh, mental health affects women this much, and boys are affected by mental health this much, and adults are affected by mental health, children. I spoke about...
You kept it to workplaces and stuff, didn't you? You talked about how workplaces are affected.
So I wrote a brainstorm, and the brainstorm will be up on my website, and my first draft, I never specified a gender. I didn't specify a gender. I'm trying to find if I had mentioned. No, I hadn't spoke about schools.
Yeah, just because
I hadn't spoke about schools later, so I guess that could be an age bracket to what I was going towards. But I was going towards it in the sense that if we educate now, then throughout the course of their lives, or the rest of their lives, they're going to know about it, and then they're going to be able to find more out for themselves. But having that education in school is something everyone does. Mostly, school is something that is mostly homeschool, but school is something that is something that.
And it's hit home for you. It's hitting home for you, isn't it? Well, I mean, like we're in college and sort of school. A lot of public licensed theatre inside a college. we're in a community where there is schooling, isn't it? So I think that's where you could come take a lot of inspiration. Like,
yeah. So yeah, if I just God, completely blow my mind with that one, Luke. So draft two is where I spoke more about it being should be an education for students, and then my final draft, I don't know. I guess now I'm analysing what I wrote. I'm reflecting on what
while you reflect on that, my speech was, I've always been a person who likes to challenge a little bit. I've always, to start my monologue, I thought of what topic can I get people fighting against almost immediately? Just because I wanted a bit of a challenge, just because I felt like being a little bit difficult.
I realised at that point I'd mirrored you after I said I wouldn't mirror you.
Yeah.
Now I've mirrored you twice.
Yeah. I got to a point where it was, okay, before I don't agree with this, and it was really hard to get people on side for this, because I think we had like the whole company at one point just yelling at each other about my like comment, wasn't it?
We were having a debate. I wouldn't say yes.
Okay, let me.
We were having a debate, having a discussion, and it's something that we should have videoed, but it was so heated in the moment that no one was like, grab a camera, let's get this. But
it was okay. I did my speech on. I didn't think all forms of bullying is bad.
But it didn't start like that.
It didn't. It was
the way it was introduced is I don't think bullying is bad, and then everyone sort of went,
what? What are you talking about?
Can you elaborate further? I'm saying this in a really calm way. It's not. Can you elaborate further? And then
I took this from. I heard a fact once. It was about how in wolf packs they attack the wolf that doesn't pull its own weight, and they got social parallels from being bullying and wolves.
Mm.
So from there, I thought maybe I could start a little bit of a ruckus and create an argument for this, which is argumentless, because I know bullying is wrong on all levels. I think bullying is disgusting. I think it really brings down our society. But I had to do something. I had to sort of challenge.
So with your earlier point, are you not going against what you said, that it's pointless for someone to give a speech on what they didn't believe on? Or did you want to challenge yourself to be like, I don't believe in this, but I'm going to give a speech?
I found a section in it where I do started to believe in it.
Yeah. Just
because, look, I'm not like. I know I've made some really bad examples in this video, but it was a really, really hard thing for me, because I felt everything was very surface level. Not being rude to everyone, but I think everything was very surface level, and like no one wanted to really challenge people's diversity in their what they were saying. So when I began this, I wanted to find the definition of bullying. So the definition of bullying is to use your superior strength or influence to intimidate, typically forcing someone to do something. So I thought, what's the other ways you can typically force someone to do something? What's the other ways you can do that? So the main point is intimidating someone to do something, because if you take away the typically forcing, so you're intimidating someone to do something using your superior strengths. And I realised mothers do this naturally, because you're naturally intimidated by something forcing you to do it. So technically, that's bullying. Yeah? And a lot of people did not take a liking to this. Like right now, you're probably thinking, he's doing this in the video. He's doing this in the video.
No, I would like to say that I was at the heat of this discussion.
You were in the...
It was me and one of our other peers. We were giving you the benefit of the doubt, and we was trying to understand, but for us, it was, if you're struggling to have a one-to-one and you haven't even scripted this yet, or you haven't even created a speech, and you're trying to explain this one-to-one to two people, how are you expected to script it and then be able to deliver it in front of about 30 people? And that was our worry. Our worry was whether you could word it right.
Make a muppet of myself.
We understood what you meant.
Yeah, but it was...
But the term bullying was what we didn't
like me
get.
Doing. And I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not changing the words.
We were open to it, and we let you get on with it.
Yeah.
And you did get like my support.
3 hours.
Wording at the end.
3 hours. I think it was like 3 hours into it. I constructed, this was a really weird process. I constructed a political speech through watching other people argue with me.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That was a
There
discussion.
was six people saying to me, Luke, what you're saying is so bad and so wrong. You're making an idiot of yourself. And I realised 6 people having a go at me is intimidating me to do something I don't want to do. And I was like, well, sorry guys, you're bullying me. And I was like, what? No, I'm not bullying you. It's because there's so much connotation behind the word. And my process of an actor, or my process as a person, I like to be a bit naughty about things.
Yeah, that's being playful.
It was being playful. I did get a lot of enjoyment.
But no,
it was very fun.
The discussion, I believe, helped. It progressed all of us because we were then able to see like how does this impact our audience. And the things that we were saying to Luke is, if you walk into that room and start your speech and say, "Not all bullying is bad," and you go on to say that being bullied is a good thing. You don't know how you're affecting someone's life. Someone could be getting bullied right now. Or be in like a bad situation at home or family, and it's like a parental figure that is doing the bullying. And it was how are you impacting the audience? And for me,
like right now we're sort of getting into it. This is sort of the energy.
This was it. But
if any of you are watching this, like feel free to comment on it and say what an idiot I am. But
not so much.
I softened my speech to. It was. I don't think all bullying is bad. That was wrong. Now, when I said I don't think all forms of bullying is bad.
I don't think all bullying is bad. Is again an umbrella term. But you said I don't think bullying is bad. So you literally just hit the hammer on the head, and you didn't get. If you said I don't think all forms of bullying is bad, you create yourself space to be wait. Hold me up. I don't think all forms of bullying is bad. Pause. Wait. Hear me out. Then go on. If you said I don't think bullying is bad,
here's why.
It does get people to go wait.
What the hell are you talking?
What? Like it gives that.
It challenged the norm. Like I'm not being blowing myself up. How many people do you reckon could do that?
And get away with it.
I don't think. Here's a question. Did I get away with it?
I think your end speech differed from your initial thought process, and I think for that was everyone. For me, my initial thought process of what I was going to talk about, the thing I struggled with was if I made it too personal, because I don't know. I didn't think it was. I didn't want to make. My first draft. I believe I made it too personal. That I talked about a specific thing in my life that has hurt me, and not that I was asking for a sob story, but it made. If I was to read that to an audience in my first draft, it would have made them feel sorry for me, and I didn't want to make them feel sorry for me. I wanted them to feel the need to have the need to change, have the need to challenge. And my final draft, I'm quite pleased with. And if I was to do it again, I'd make it even more drafts, and I'd improve it more with what I have. And
I'd have been a lot more confident.
Yeah, confidence.
The main thing with my speech, I sort of shied away. You got to like the performance stage, and I was like, "What have I done?"
Yeah, I think going to monologues. I think monologues I struggle with making it too. I make it too personal that I get to a point where when I walk in front of a panel, I'm like, "Oh no, this is my life, and I want to share my life with you. I'm really scared. Like. Not always like that, not always at frightened.
It's to be vulnerably comfortable.
But it's like, oh, no, because if I tell you this is me, like, this is me. And when we first started here, it was, I had a front and I didn't want anyone to see the true me, but by not showing my true self,
hinders you.
It hinders me.
Because you're not giving everything that you've got.
A technique we learned, or a technique we gained from rehearsal was selective honesty. Like, yes, this is me, but this isn't me completely. This is me that I'm showing you. And this is me, but it's not entrapping me. And I think that was a really good thing. So when I wrote my political speech, I toned it down on what I made personal to me. And I did use personal pieces that have affected me in my life while talking about it. But I didn't. As I was talking about mental health, I didn't talk about my mental health and how my mental health affects me and mental health that I have and things like that. I just spoke about an event, a singular event in my life, but I never spoke about it being like it was someone else. I was talking about a suicide, but I wasn't saying that it affected how it. Well, it said that what it affected me by, or how my thought process after it, but I didn't talk about my personal mental health, and the whole speech wasn't like, I suffer with this, I suffer with this, I do this, because I think that missed the point. The point I wanted was I wanted people to notice that there is need for change, and change can be found, and that we should love people around us, and that we should make sure that no one's alone. And I think these are things that have been said before, but to say it in my own words, I think is what made it most.
Yeah, I had to do the same thing as well during my speech, because it come across like I've never been bullied, so I'd never have a perspective.
That was a discussion point that we did have with you.
So like I had to be really, I had to say like I don't condone bullying. I think bullying that breaks someone down to dust in schools and at home, that's wrong.
Yeah.
But I had to say I've suffered from bullying myself, so it's not like I'm going for it. I am against it. But I think as humans, we need to start looking at the lighter side of things. I think that's how I ended up my speech being the way it did, because it started with me being very controversial. I don't think all forms of bullying is bad. All I did was look at the light side of it, being if you can passively intimidate without doing it to making someone do something that will benefit them in life. For example, you watch a director push their actors to the point of them being sick to making an amazing performance. You can do that naturally. You can do that naturally. I think
you gave a good example when you spoke about a brother. I don't know if you meant your brother personally, but you said about if between two brothers, if one of them is leading towards like a drug related.
Yeah. This was
an example that you gave that I said, hold up a minute. Maybe what you're trying to say.
No, that was a separate conversation. We were speaking about communism. I was talking about communism to another actor, wasn't I? I was talking about communism.
No, that was still a bullying thing when it bullies them out of having. You used the word bullying, and the word bullying is what I didn't necessarily understand. But say if they were leading to a drug lifestyle, and you were bullying them to be like, no, don't do that. Why are you doing that? That's stupid. And you used that, and you put them down for doing it, and then they didn't. Then they brought them back to being like, well, maybe
sort out your life.
Maybe I do need to sort out my life. And what it's being said is true. That when you gave that point, I understood what you meant, but then again, I said that bullying wasn't the word that you should use.
If there was another word,
but you stuck with your guns, which I think is good for you. Which shows in you like power that you stuck to your guns, you stuck to the word bullying, and you delivered that speech.
Yeah, it was the final sort of draft of it is I don't think all bullying is bad. See, this is where I kept getting it wrong. It's naturally I just keep saying it like that, which probably started to pee people off. I don't think all forms of bullying is bad. I don't think bullying is good whatsoever. So and I've felt it, and I'm sure many of you have been. I don't condone it. So I had to bring it all back to say I don't think all forms of bullying are bad. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, guys. I'm not saying bullying is good. I don't condone it. I don't want you to go out and do it. Please don't do it. But hear me out. I've made something. I've constructed an argument about a subject that's been so oversaturated with stuff. Because to look on the lighter side of things is a human trait, I feel. And to look on the lighter side of bullying, I found is going off the dictionary definition. That's what I said in the speech. I said the dictionary definition of the word is to, if I was to shorten it down to its bare basics, intimidate someone to do something.
in a positive way.
And I said, you can't have yin without yang. You can't. There's no balance in the universe. You can't. A lot of people saw bullying as it being a section where some kids getting chased down an alleyway to get beaten up, and that has happened. And I've been called horrendous things, and I believe everyone has been called horrendous things in their life. So that's bullying, and they've sort of keyholed it. Where when I started to construct it and stuff, I realised there is a section of not silver lining. See, when
you've got to be careful in the words.
I'm
pick.
using
I'm
even
saying
now,
that as a general
even
thing,
now I'm
selective.
yeah
honesty.
yeah even now I'm trying to word myself in a way that it's not offensive or so. And because I'm a natural person, it just comes out of my mouth without. One thing I do struggle with, which I've learnt from this, reflecting back, there's no real. If I'm sad, it'd be sort of on this level. Anyway, it sort of stays in this bracket where there's no real inflection into my emotion.
The colourfulness of your
Yeah. So like, if I was to be sarcastic, like, nice, have a nice day, it just wouldn't come across. Even my mum's like, be sarcastic, make it sound sarcastic.
Yeah.
I'm just really lazy with how I speak.
Yeah. So if we go to performance day.
Performance day.
So obviously we for me, the first draft took the brainstorm thing quite quick.
We had time
kind
crunch,
of.
didn't we? We had what 6 hours? 6 hours in college, and then
I think straight away it read out to me that I wanted to write about mental health, and then I found the facts on mental health, but it was more how I delivered it. So I had 3 drafts. I got peers to help me with what I was being said, let me read it out to them, whether I was reading what I was saying, did I have the right pauses, was I getting stuck in a rhythm, was I breaking that rhythm, what was my breath, where was my breath, just all the techniques that we had learned, and I wanted to work with people, and I think for you that happened with your discussion and what was being said. And for me, I had like one-to-one, had people mark my work, change it, or gave their input. They didn't have the overall say. They gave input on whether they think there should be changes, whether I went with that is whether I went with it. And performance day, so the rehearsal, the general notes we had was that we needed to drive home the first line. We needed our physicality to take hold, because for a lot of people they were just delivering the political speech like this. They were saying their words, they were passionate in their words, but when there was nothing happening with their hand, it lost it, and it lost the power. So we had our gestures. Again, centering the breath, relaxing our feet, make sure that we were grounded. Remove the nervous habits. For me, I know that I do this when I'm nervous, and it's very much...
Yeah, even in this interview, I've just been sitting there just...
It's very much, where your nerves are, where you channel in your hands, are you shaky, where you hold it, are you finishing on a high and then you're being nervous? And then talking directly to the audience, not sort of looking over their heads or away from them or to your peers. Because we had seating was people down the sides, was talking straight to the audience and actually connecting with them, because looking at something isn't necessarily always connecting. You need to really sort of hold a moment and look at them and be able to connect with them. Be present in the room, so when you're off on the sides, are you still involved? Are you still open? Are you still listening? Or have you completely zoned out? What do you look like to an audience if you're just sitting there waiting for the next person? Do you look disengaged? Do you look like you're not going to want to be there? Do you actually look like you're ready for more information? So we'd never heard each other's speeches before, and suddenly we're doing a performance together. We're hearing those for the first time, and what they're saying of like views that we might be able to put ourselves in the audience perspective and really just connect and
which was something that was really nice, I guess.
Yeah, and I think as well
this is our first time doing.
Yeah, this is our first performance. Yeah.
This is our first performance with our cast.
Our company, yeah.
So it was all in all, I think it went really well.
Yeah.
I